Hello and welcome to the Mastery Transcript Consortium Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but they will be around for the entire session to answer any questions you may have. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. You can direct it to a specific school or leave it open for any institution. This is just one of many different sessions happening tonight, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/mastery. I'd now like to turn it over to our first school, Ohio University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lindsay Lake Hawkins. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and then share some information about Ohio University. So Ohio University is a mid-sized public institution located in southeastern Ohio. We are an R1 designated research institution, so the highest level research institution designation by the Carnegie Foundation. And we have a strong focus on undergraduate teaching and research. So let's talk a little bit about the academic experience at Ohio University. We believe in a personalized experience-based education. We have 250 plus academic programs to choose from. So that includes our majors, minors, and certificate programs. As I mentioned, a strong focus on undergraduate teaching and research because that is our largest population on campus with right around 16,000 undergraduate students, making up the population on our Athens campus, which is our main campus. We and 29 students make 86% of our courses are taught by faculty. So you get to learn from the experts and you're able to get to know those in your classes as well as your faculty members. We have 10 different academic colleges that those 250 plus academic programs are broken down into. You can see those on the screen right here. Some of our academic colleges and programs do have some competitive admission requirements. You can find all of that information on our website, and we automatically consider you for the most competitive major that you apply for at the time that you apply. If you don't meet the criteria for a competitive major or college, we will consider you for admission, general admission into university as an undecided intending major, so intending engineering or something along those lines if you don't meet the competitive criteria. We do offer honors and scholars experiences as well. We have an honors tutorial college, which is a tutorial-based sort of style based off of the Oxford and Cambridge styles. You have smaller tutorial classes and then one-on-one tutorial with a faculty member. It is a highly competitive program, and there are additional steps in the application process. There's an essay and an interview process that goes along with that. Our Ohio Honors Program is an experiential-based program, so you are going to be doing things that are co-curricular outside of the classroom, extracurricular as well. 1804 Scholars is a residential program, and it's much like our Ohio Scholars Program. And then there are some program-specific honors and scholars opportunities. We have a lot of opportunities to get involved. We have 550 plus student organizations on campus, 16 NCAA Division I athletics. You're able to get into, as a student, all of the events, the varsity events that we have on campus, as well as all of our arts events, just by showing your student ID. So it's at no additional cost to you. We are a traditionally residential campus, and the majority of our students live and learn on campus. We do have experiential learning opportunities through our learning communities. So you are able to pair what you're doing in the classroom with those that you're living around. We have 16 food and drink venues on campus, and then we also have a variety of other things, like we have a food cart, which is actually a lot of fun, and it's very popular right now. Tuition and fees you can see up on the screen right here. We are a public institution in the state of Ohio, so we do have an out-of-state resident surcharge for our out-of-state students, so you'll see that that's the difference between the two. And we have listed up here the standard double and the traditional 14 meal plan because that is the lowest price meal plan and most affordable housing option for first-year students living on campus. With the application process, there is no separate application for scholarship consideration as long as you meet our early action deadline. Outside scholarships are accepted, and we are a test optional institution, and you can be considered for merit scholarships even as a test optional student. The Ohio Admission Promise is something that you are automatically considered for as long as you meet our early action deadline of November 15th and submit your FAFSA by February 15th. It is a renewable automatic and a strong college prep curriculum, and you get an automatic $2,000. With the application process, we just need the application, the fee, $50, your official transcripts, and then optional materials. We never want the application fee to serve as a barrier for students to apply. So if you're looking at that and you're like, you know what, I just can't swing that right now, get a hold of us in the admissions office and we can talk to you about an application fee waiver. When it comes to deadlines, you can see those up on the screen. The most important one for us is our early action deadline of November 15th, because that allows you to be considered for direct entry into all of our academic programs, merit scholarships, as well as our honors and scholars experience. And then we also have rolling admission as well. We always encourage you to stay up to date with us on our socials, so you can see those on the screen up there. All right, that does it for me. Thank you all so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. We appreciate it. And participants, if you have questions for Ohio University or any of our other institutions here tonight, please use that Q&A function to ask questions at any time during these presentations. Up next, we have Olin College of Engineering.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna, and I'm an admission counselor at Olin College of Engineering. And I'm just really glad that you could all be here today to learn a little bit more about Olin. Let me just share my screen really quick. All right. So, sorry. All right, so a little bit about Olin College. So we are an engineering institution, and we are located in Needham, Massachusetts. So that is about 20 minutes outside of Boston. This is a little bit of a look at our college. Again, we are a small college. I'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's great for, those snowy winters in Boston. The most you'll ever have to walk across our campus is this very far residence hall to our dining hall, which is about a 5-minute walk. I always like to start talking a little bit about Olin through our history. And now I say history in air quotes because we were actually founded in 1997 and we had our first incoming class in 2002. So definitely not a very long history, but a very robust history. A little bit about us is that we were actually founded from the Franklin W. Olin Foundation, which was founded in the 1940s. It was after Franklin W. Olin, who was an amazing engineer, who actually had a lot of trouble accessing education. So he really spent a lot of time trying to help other students being able to access education. And so for about 50 years, actually, the foundation provided funds and support to other universities. So as you're on your college search, doing your college visits, keep an eye out for that Olin, because you'll see it. Even Babson College right next door to us, as well as USC. You'll see some Olin buildings as you're walking around. But actually in the 90s, the Franklin W. Olin Foundation ended up seeing a research article that said something along the lines of, we're really not teaching our engineers that well. They said that they were doing a lot of independent studying and that they weren't really able to get to their engineering curriculum until their junior and senior year. And it just wasn't a very applicable education. The engineering curriculums were following a very standard path that really just wasn't helping out engineers in the long run. So thus, Olin College was born to transform engineering education toward a world in which it serves everyone. This is how we do it. So the first thing is that we are a collaborative and inclusive project-based learning institution. So you'll actually complete about 30 to 40 applied projects by the time you are done with Olin. So you're doing about 10 projects a year, normally one per class. And we actually don't have that traditional midterm or finals week that you might have in high school, or that dreaded finals week that you'll always think about when you think of college. Instead, we'll do more project showcase weeks or project assist weeks where upperclassmen will come help the lowerclassmen with their projects. For example, one of our classes, our quantitative engineering analysis, instead of just sitting and learning linear algebra and then applying it maybe 4 years later, you actually get a chance to immediately apply what you're learning through coding facial recognition software. So our students are immediately learning how important it is what they're learning and how it applies to what they're going to be doing in the long run. We also are very impact centered. We think about humans at the heart of everything that we do. Olin really knows that, engineers are the ones making true change in the world. So teaching students how to mitigate risks and, where are the benefits, and just overall that idea of helping people and doing good with engineering. We are also intentionally transdisciplinary. So you do have your general ed requirements, but many of them can be applied to something that you think will be beneficial in the long run. So you can take AI for humanity, or you can take sustainability engineering, and social sciences. Or, maybe you love engineering, it's really what you want to do, but you also love Shakespeare. You could also take a class fully on Shakespeare. So this is who we are. Again, I mentioned before, we are a very small school, and trust me, it's not because we have to be like we didn't not get enough applications. It's because it's a critical part of the Olin experience is this aspect of community. So it's a great way for our students to get to know everyone in the class. We have about 600 people total on campus with faculty and staff, and there really is no hierarchy, no barrier to entry. We have about an 8-to-1 faculty ratio, and all of our faculty members go by first name. You can go up to them in the dining hall and say, "Hey, Steve, tell me about that robo lab you were working on." And it's just a really great part of the experience. But it's also amazing because though we are small, we have an opportunity for students to actually go onto Babson, which is an amazing business school right next door to us, or Wellesley, which is a great liberal arts school, and take courses like pottery at Wellesley or join the rugby team at Babson. And it's a great way to open up our community from, our 5-building campus to you can actually open up to about 5,000 students. Overall, what do we teach? Obviously, engineering, but more specifically, these are kind of our 3 majors: Bachelor of Science in Engineering. But then you are actually able to self-design your own major. So if one of these 3 plus the 5 concentrations don't work for you, you're able to kind of mix and match as well as create your own to really make it specific to something that you want to do. Really, I always say that Olin is really amazing at making sure that your education feels applicable to what you're doing, makes it feel worth it. So this is a little bit about what Oliners are doing in the world. So we do have a really robust alumni network, a really passionate group of them. And some of my favorite stats that aren't on this page is about 75% of our first years actually start their second year with an internship or research opportunity already under their belt. So you're definitely getting that engineering from day one. Here's a little bit about living on campus. As you can see, you will never have a communal bathroom here on Olin. That's literally all I wanted to say about that. But thank you all so much. If you do have any questions, you can email me here, and I'll also put our admissions page in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, that no communal bathroom thing is a definite selling point. Absolutely. All right. Up next, we have Massachusetts College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Gary Wilson. I'm the Senior Assistant Director of Admissions from Mass College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Yes, I do believe we have the longest name of everybody here on the panel, but we will kind of go over that and talk about the different acronyms we use at MCPHS through the course of this. So let me just start this slideshow real quick. All right. So MCPHS is a comprehensive healthcare university. What that means is that we do every program in the healthcare field from top to bottom, whether that be programs in pharmacy, like our name suggests, programs in nursing, pre-med, biology, chemistry, and also smaller programs in things such as sonography, public health, health psychology, law and policy. We kind of do everything that you can imagine in the healthcare field. We have been on our location in Boston for over 200 years now. This year was our bicentennial. It's been a lot of fun on campus celebrating that with faculty and staff, so it's been a ton of fun. And we are located in Boston, Massachusetts. We are about a 10-minute walk from Fenway Park, part of the College of the Fenway, which I'll talk about in a little bit. We do have over 7,500 students enrolled from all over the US and 100 different countries. And we do have clinical affiliations with some of the world's top medical institutions and hospitals, including Brigham and Women's Hospital, Mass General Hospital, Boston Children's Hospital, the Joslin Diabetes Center, Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. The list really does go on and on for the places that our students can do research, do clinicals, and find opportunities. Here's a list of our undergraduate programs that you can find at MCPHS. On the left side are our Forsyth School of Dental Hygiene, School of Nursing, and our School of Medical Imaging and Therapeutics. These are accelerated programs at MCPHS. What that means is that you complete your full bachelor's degree within these programs in a 3-year time period instead of a traditional 4. So yes, that means that you can get a Bachelor of Science in nursing and in 3 years instead of that traditional 4. In order to do so, you do take class in the fall, spring, and summer for your first 2 years. So you go fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, summer, fall, spring, and then that's it. You're done from that point forward, fully graduated, fully licensed, and ready to go and practice within those fields. But and I can see your faces now. You will still have time off. You will still be able to see the sun, I promise. The way our academic calendar tends to fall is that the fall semester picks up the the first week of September into the second week of December. Then the spring semester goes until the second week of January into the last week of April. Then the summer semester picks up the second week of May and goes into the last week of July. So you can still go on vacation. You will still be able to see the beach, I promise. On the right side are our traditional programs at MCPHS. These are all of our programs in the School of Pharmacy, School of Arts and Sciences, and School of Healthcare, Business, and Technology. These are programs that take place over a traditional time period. So, the fall and spring semesters with no required summers, but they may not always fall within the traditional time period of years of program. Of course, we have our flagship Doctor of Pharmacy program. It's a direct entry PharmD that you graduate in 6 years with that full doctorate in hand. And starting this year, students in that Doctor of Pharmacy program will also receive a Bachelor of Science in Pharmaceutical Life Sciences that's focused on research and development and is another great option for you if you're interested in going into pharmacy. In our School of Arts and Sciences are our programs like biology, public health, and health psychology. You see that fourth one on the list there, that pre-medical and health studies program. That's not a minor or a track. That's actually a full major in pre-med, a program very much focused on getting you prepared to go to medical school and giving you everything you need to go to medical school and nothing that you don't. Also built out of our pre-medical and health studies programs and a few of our other programs are our pathway programs. These are programs that lead to a master's or doctorate that you get directly at MCPHS. That includes a 3+3 for a master's of physician assistant studies, a 3+4 in a doctor of optometry, or a 4+2 in a master's of acupuncture. For public health, health psychology, and health sciences, you can build a 3+3 in a physical therapy program for a full DPT, or a 3+2 in a master's of occupational therapy. We also have 3 articulation agreements or dual degree programs with 3 other universities. The first is a 4+4 in a Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with the Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine. The second is a 4+4 in Doctor of Allopathic Medicine with St. George's University. Apologies, Boston is happening behind me. And we also have another one, which is a 4+4 in Osteopathic Medicine with A.T. Still University. If you're interested in our dual degree programs and those articulation agreements, please feel free to contact me after this presentation. They are very complicated and they take a lot of time to talk through, so I don't want to belabor the points right now. More than anything, MCPHS is committed to your success as a student here. We have over 748 faculty members. 91% of our full-time faculty hold terminal degrees in their fields, so they've reached the highest level of education possible in their given field, so you really are being educated by the best of the best to have the best of the best outcomes. We consistently update our facilities to provide state-of-the-art experiences. All students, when they arrive on campus, are given a MAC team. That's a faculty mentor and academic coach, who are your first point of contact for any issues you might have, extra study time you might want, research opportunities you want to take advantage of, the whole thing. We also have a full peer-to-peer mentoring network, a math and writing center available on campus, a full office for student access and accommodations for students who might need additional support and help, and on-campus and virtual counseling services. We do follow a very specific educational model at MCPHS called interprofessional education, where people from different disciplines come together to be able to share their experiences and help you become the best healthcare professional possible. But with all that said, I'm going to leave off on this slide. If you do have additional questions about MCPHS or what we do on campus, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My contact information will be in the chat. Thank you all so much, and I look forward to chatting with you at the end.
Thank you, appreciate it. And a reminder to our participants to use that Q&A function if you have questions for any of our institutions here during these presentations. Up next, we have Wentworth Institute of Technology.
My name is Will Bagnall. I'm here with Wentworth Institute of Technology. Just sort of trying to get my, there we go. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me today. Just to get things started off, a little bit of background information on Wentworth Institute of Technology. We were originally founded as a trade school, and we have carried through that tradition of hands-on learning into all of our different majors and undergraduate programs. As you can see, this is a full list of our undergrad programs. For those of you who are interested, the largest major by population is mechanical engineering. We're also well known for our architecture program, as well as engineering and construction management, and computer sciences as well. So very focused around the STEM fields. We also do have graduate degree programs. The ones listed on the screen here are programs that you actually can be completed in just 1 year. So you're looking at, doing your 4 years in undergrad, and then you can get your graduate degree in just 1 year, as opposed to some schools where it's 2 or 3. That's very popular amongst our architecture students who need that graduate degree in order to obtain their certification. In terms of Wentworth, I like to sort of talk about how Wentworth has the best of the small school experience and the large experience. Our student population is just under 4,000 students. So you're looking at an average classroom size of around 19 students and a student to faculty ratio of 18:1. So when you're in the classroom, the idea is very much that you are kind of getting to know your professor, you're getting to know them, they're getting to know you and know what your interests are. All of our classes are faculty taught, so you don't have to worry about student assistant, teacher's aides or student assistants. All of them are taught by your professors, all of which who have industry experience. As I mentioned, we have a huge dedication to hands-on learning. We focus on something called project-based learning. So that is, the idea is that when you're in your classrooms, you're being shown the hands-on skills, the how-to knowledge, that type of stuff. So if you're an architecture student, you're learning how to draw the blueprints, how to create the building in 3D programs. What you're not being told is what type of designs to work on. We very much want our students to sort of take what they're learning in the classroom and apply it to the projects that they want to work on in their careers. And then all of that is sort of based around the idea that your first 2 years, your freshman and sophomore year, you're building up sort of the technical hands-on skills that you'll need to apply in your full-time work. And then your junior and senior year, we actually give you a chance to apply those to full-time positions through our co-op program. So there are 2 required co-ops. As you can see on your screen, they're required the spring semester of your junior year and then the fall semester of your senior year. There is a 3rd optional co-op the summer after your sophomore year, but that cannot be swapped out for one of the required co-ops. You do have a co-op advisor who helps you put together a list of companies that you want to apply to, basically to ensure that you have the work experience that's most going to benefit you in your career going forward. And then you are able to do those co-ops really anywhere. You don't have to do them inside of Boston. So again, there's a lot of flexibility offered you there. And about 1 in 3 of our students will actually get a full-time job offer from one of their co-ops. And it is important to note that we do guarantee housing for all 4 years. So even while you're on your co-op, you can still live on campus. These are just a list of some of the companies that we offer that have worked through our co-ops. But obviously, again, the idea is for the students to get the work experience that's most valuable to them. Really, kind of the goal of Wentworth is that we don't want to tell you what career path to choose or what goal to have in mind. We just want to make sure that we're providing you as many resources as possible for you to achieve that goal. In terms of financial aid and scholarships, we do review every student for a merit-based scholarship. Those scholarships average to be around $17,000. They can be a lot more or less. We also do offer a $1,000 scholarship for early action applications, and we also have scholarships for we have a database on our website of third-party scholarships as well that you can look into. And that's pretty much all the information that I have. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Up next, we have Carnegie Mellon University.
Hi, everyone. Give me one moment and I'm going to share my screen with you all. That way we can go ahead and get started. One sec. Great. And hopefully you are all able to see this. So hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super honored to be here. My name is Gisela Garcia. I serve as one of the Senior Assistant Directors of Admission at Carnegie Mellon University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we are one of the Tier 1 research universities located in Pittsburgh, which means that research is definitely a key part of what our students are involved in during their undergraduate experience here, but definitely not a requirement. It just means that we are dedicated to providing resources as well as opportunities and experiences for our students that may be interested in pursuing research at any given time. So we do have over 100 different institutes and lab facilities that are available for our students to begin exploring research, and sometimes as early on as their first year. Now, being in Pittsburgh, it is good to note we are directly in the city. So many of those opportunities may be in your backyard. About 16% of our students do take advantage of internships and research opportunities in the city of Pittsburgh, either over the summer or throughout the academic semester, even earning credit. So that is definitely important for just getting your skills and building upon your foundational skills as you consider industry after graduation and your master's and PhD level programs. Being a medium research university, we do recruit students across the nation and the world, but we tend to enroll around 1,600 to 1,700 students for a first year cohort or incoming class. Overall, we have about 6,500 total undergraduate students, and that is typically matched by our graduate level programs as well. Now, all of our students do come in enrolled in one of these schools and colleges at Carnegie Mellon University. So that can be our College of Engineering, our College of Fine Arts, our Dietrich College for Humanities and Social Sciences, Mellon College of Science, School of Computer Science, and our Tepper School of Business. What you see there are a few of our top programs that students do have a genuine interest in. They are curious about learning about interdisciplinary learning, and that is something that we do encourage beginning your first year as well. What sets us apart is the fact that we do not have a general education requirements. That is not overall built into our curriculum outside of 2 main courses in computing science as well as a first year writing seminar. So once you are enrolled in that program, you can spend your time just being dedicated to that one specific field that you have been admitted into. But again, we encourage interdisciplinary learning. So if you have other interests, even if you are coming in as an engineering student, but also, having an interest in the arts, you can definitely take those classes with about 20% of our students pursuing a double major, and over 50% of our students pursuing a minor at any given time. These students span across different states, around 47 from our last year's class, and then 38 different countries. So we also value that diversity that a lot of our students are bringing in, diversity of thought, perspectives, opinions, and ideas. We are always looking for students that are really passionate, motivated, curious, and driven to challenge the ideas that they are coming into the university with. And you really thrive in being supported by a collaborative environment such as that is being built upon at Carnegie Mellon. We value collaboration in and outside of the classroom. So while you are building relationships and that foundational relationship with your advisor, with your peers and your mentors, you will also find that through our student organizations. So there are over 400 different student organizations that our students can be involved with, and those can span multicultural groups, affinity groups, our Greek life, our varsity athletic sports teams, which there are 19 available, intramural sports, community service, the list goes on and on. But it is important that you are, spending time with friends and building community over the next 4+ years. We also do guarantee housing all 4 years. So many of our students, over 70%, do decide to remain on our campus, with the first year being required. But outside of that, you can definitely spend time in the city if that is something that you wanted to pursue. We will still guarantee a dining plan for you if that was something that you wanted to consider. And then also take advantage of the internships that are also in the city as well. I think what's also important is to just talk about how the housing community really helps our students thrive. It does focus on a living learning community. You don't just have a resident assistant, you also have an advisor that oversees them. So we're constantly trying to build community, even though you are spending your time in your housing options, and especially outside of that classroom. On campus, there are over 35 different eateries that our students can explore, with all of them being affiliated with the local Pittsburgh area. And then we also do provide free public transportation for our students as well. And that will grant you free public transportation anywhere in the county itself. And that that also doubles as what we call an arts pass. So if you were a student that wanted to go ahead and visit the local museum or an art exhibition in a gallery, well, that will grant you free admission into those events. So you can always find something to do on the weekend if you can't find an event or program on the main campus, but that'll be pretty hard to do. But it's great to just know that that is a resource for you. I also do just want to take this time to talk a little bit more about the advising experience, because I do think that that is especially beneficial for our students that are coming in and exploring so many different majors and minors that are available to them. So we do have a 6-to-1 student to faculty ratio. This has drastically changed from the past 3 years, where we have been dedicated to just hiring more diverse faculty that are available for our students. And all of our classes are taught by the faculty members themselves. So we went from a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio to a 6-to-1. We are seriously dedicated to just helping you, have a small class size. And I'm more than happy to talk about that experience a little bit later on. I'll put my information in the chat if you do have any questions. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Hood College was unable to make it this evening. However, they do want to encourage you to please check out their website and contact their admissions office if you do have any questions for them. Well, right now we have time for some Q&A with all of our reps that are here tonight. So I'll ask you all to come back on camera and we'll go ahead and get into that Q&A process. All right, so our first question for the evening is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So you all have seen plenty of students go through this process. What are your nuggets of wisdom to share? We'll go in the same order that you presented in, starting with Ohio University.
Hi again. So I always encourage students to, as they're going through the process, to ask questions. I know that sounds really silly and very upfront and in your face, and others will probably say the same thing, but no question is a silly question. And everything is a valid question. So please make sure that you're asking those. Don't be afraid to get in touch with your admission advisor or the recruiter that you work with, that works with your area, because they're there to help you through the process. At Ohio University, we have admissions advisors that help students throughout the entire application and enrollment process. And we're really there to serve you, and we base it on geographic territory. So we want to make sure that we're answering your questions and we're accessible as possible, because we know that this can be it can be a challenging process sometimes when you're trying to keep straight all of the different schools that you're applying to and the different deadlines and requirements and all of that. So just know that you have that person that you can go to at the school that you're looking at each of those schools, who can serve as your advocate.
Hi, everyone. I would just say that the college process is so overwhelming, and that's okay. Everyone's going through it. And so I just want to first let you know that you're not alone, but there are just so many amazing schools out there. I mean, you just heard from 5 great schools, but we don't even make up 1%. So I always say just knowing your priorities. Go to school knowing what's really important to you. Maybe you're really into the academics, or you're into what organizations they have, and really knowing your priorities as you're researching these colleges just really helps kind of make that process seem a little less scary. I know that Olin, might not be for everyone, same thing for other schools. And it's just really about knowing what you really want to see in a school and kind of what really draws you to them, and vice versa, maybe what things really keep you away from one.
So I was going to say a similar thing of, make sure you're contacting admissions reps, make sure you're talking to kind of all of your resources and things like that. But to make sure to pivot as well, use every opportunity that you have right now, whether that be contacting an admissions rep, whether that be coming to visit campus. Never limit yourself to what's available. Many schools, especially post-COVID, have virtual options when it comes to meetings, when it comes to appointments, when it comes to tours. So make sure you're using those things. Make sure that you are taking advantage of everything that we have built and are available to you. Especially right now, things are kind of big, scary. There's a lot of different questions and a lot of different things that's going on. So using everything that's available is going to help kind of move away some of those clouds and make things a little bit easier for you.
Okay, so to sort of build off what a lot of my colleagues have sort of said, the biggest thing that I would say is 2 things really. Have faith in yourself, in what type of major you're interested in, but also be willing to understand that just because you're passionate about an idea doesn't mean that it's not going to be hard. It's still going to take work. There's going to be times where you're going to question the path you've chosen, but do trust yourself. Do put in the work, because I trust you will be, trust me, it will be worth it in the end.
And just to add, take time to self-reflect as well. While you're gaining all these, and utilizing all of these resources, it is important to consider what you are considering for a college. And that means community fit, that means academic fit, and that also means financial fit. So you have to find where your priorities lie and what is going to be the most healthiest balance for you. And I do wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely. And I always like to chime in with to stay organized. You just heard from, again, 5 amazing schools. They all had different dates and deadlines. They had different scholarships. They have different, styles of housing and living. So write all of that down. If that's like a spreadsheet or a notebook, however you want to keep organized, that's a great way to do it. Have a dedicated, hopefully professional sounding email to get all of these information from these schools as well. You don't want to miss out on free scholarship money because something went to your spam box or got filtered in with all of a whole bunch of other emails. So definitely stay organized within the process as well. That will definitely help reduce some of that stress. All right, our next question is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school? So I know we went really fast. So if there is that one nugget that you're like, I want them to leave here remembering this about my school, we can go ahead and do that. We'll go in the same order.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So I know that, 6 minutes is not a lot of time to be able to share all of the wonderful things that all of our schools can offer. So I would encourage you to also go onto the website, do a little bit of research, and to visit campuses if you have the opportunity to. But for Ohio University specifically, I hope that you will remember that we really believe in an experience-based education. So what that means is taking what you're learning in the classroom and actually connecting it to the outside world and what you're going to be doing in your future job or your career while you're still in school, and giving the tools to be able to do that. And just connecting the ideas that you're learning about to real world applications. So we really want to make sure that we are educating for the future and that we're educating future change makers. And one of the ways that we do that is through that experience-based education.
I'd say that though Olin in itself is a very unique institution, I think it's the community too, then that aspect of kind of that smaller based community is really what makes it amazing. Our students basically kind of follow almost this cohort model where they're taking similar classes with the rest of their group, basically until their junior year when they kind of split off to their majors. But then they're still, getting lunch in the dining hall, and then they're doing dinner together, and then they're doing their project teams, and then clubs, and then group projects. And since everyone lives on campus, they are always together in this really amazing community. And I think that's something that's really awesome. Even I was on campus at 10 p.m. and they're all still hanging out. I'm like, don't you all get sick of each other? Don't you want to break off, go into your rooms? But I think it's something that's really awesome is there are a whole group of like-minded individuals who have all these random interests. We have almost as many clubs as we do students. And I think that's something that really makes Olin really unique, is that overall community aspect.
Similarly, the one thing I would want you to remember about MCPHS is that we are incredibly focused on that medical field. You're being taught by people who have that experience, who are coming from those careers, who are coming from those outcomes. You're working with advisors and professionals who know what it's like to find the careers and find the paths that you're looking for. We have dedicated people there to help you make that next step onto your healthcare journey. So if you do have that focus, you do have that love, if you do want to be in an environment surrounded by other healthcare professionals who all have those dreams, there really is no better fit for finding those outcomes moving forward.
So I didn't mention, believing in yourself and trusting your vision just to sound cliche. I really sort of mentioned it because at Wentworth, you are going to get the opportunity to build that vision. You are going to get the opportunity to take the ideas that you have in your head and bring them to reality. And our job is just to show you how to do that. It really is the students that make Wentworth great. And that's not just in the academic setting, it's in our clubs. It's in, our faculty. It's all about a support system so that you guys can sort of get to where you want to go and bring that vision to life.
I'm probably not going to add as much here. My colleagues have said a lot of really great things that are similarly, the same at Carnegie Mellon. I think it's important to remember that a lot of these students are high achieving, but they're really, really passionate about the work that they are doing, and they're dedicated to making a positive impact. So that means that they're consistently networking, and networking isn't just limited to just the professional world. It's especially important as you build relationships with your advisors, with your faculty members, and your peers. So the students are always motivating each other and challenging each other to be the best that they can be. And I think that that's something really fortunate, collaborative instead of competitive, which is really great.
Absolutely. Thanks, everyone. We are almost getting close out of time. So our last question, I'll just pose out there. And if anyone has thoughts on it, feel free to jump in. What is one myth that you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process? This tends to be the toughie question anyway. So if you have thoughts on it, feel free to share. If not, that's fine too. We'll have a minute or two to share on that. What's one myth you'd like to debunk on the college admissions process?
Go with actually a piece of advice my father gave me. He went on to become an athletic trainer for 40 years, worked with the Olympic Committee. And he told me, it's not about where you go, it's what you do with it. He went to Bridgewater State University, not a very big name school, but if you ask any athletic trainer on the East Coast, they will know who Don Bagnall is. That's the number one thing I want to sort of get across. It's what you do with it. It's not the name of the school. It's on you guys.
I can also jump in. I think this one's pretty overarching, just the quantity over quality kind of idea. Like a lot of students think I need to take as many APs and all these random subjects, or I want to be in the chess club, I need to be in the theater club, I need to be in that, and this wide range. And I think, speaking at least from my perspective, and I'm sure many other schools, we really can see a lot of who you are through your application. So you might not be in 1,000 clubs, but if you really made a difference in 3 of them, or if we really see a focus on one academic discipline, that's really something that stands out. So, less stress about trying to do everything in everything, and more just seeing what you can really add, in those occasional topics or classes or clubs that you do have.
One thing as well is that there is a myth out there that colleges will look poorly upon you if you're applying undecided, or if you're undeclared, or kind of exploring around and looking at different programs. That is absolutely not the case. College is a time for you to explore around, to find what your passions are, to find what your kind of future and your careers are. And all of us in admissions, completely understand that as well. So if you're not sure of what you're supposed to be doing, if you're not sure of what that path is going to look like, still take the chances, still be applying, still be be willing to poke around and to look around, because we see that just as well as students who are coming in, for myself, day one, looking me in the face and saying, I'm going to be a pharmacist in 6 years, both carry a lot of strength.
Yeah, and I'd like to just kind of add on top of that, the major that you have in mind right now is not necessarily the major that you are going to stick with through college, and that is okay. And so it is about, in that first year, exploring. And so take a class that it sounds interesting to you, that is a class that isn't included in your curriculum, so that you can really challenge yourself and really find your passion. Because the major that you start in might not be the major that you graduate with, and it might not be the career field that you go into. It might just be that stepping stone towards your future.
And to add, don't allow the admission counselor to assume anything about your application. So if we should know anything, please do put it in the application process itself. And I'm specifically going to highlight extracurricular involvement. You may think that it's not as unique because you've dealt with it all of your life, but no matter the situation, if you babysit, if you have family obligations, if you work part-time, all of that information is contextual and helpful for an admission counselor to know and to understand. So we just want to see how you are managing your time, what you are passionate about, and the quality of the experiences that you are getting. So definitely take time to review that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for all of that great advice and, helping coach our students through this process. If we didn't get to your question or you still have more questions, please feel free to reach out to all of these reps on screen or reach out to their office as well. And, definitely get in touch with them. They can answer any of your questions. You can find out more about their institutions as well. But we thank you so much for joining us tonight. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening right after this one. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/mastery. Thank you so much for being here and best of luck on your college search process. Have a great evening, everyone.